my channel. This is Tita Lavinia of Tita's Pageantry, and for this episode, I will be bringing you my top picks from the recently concluded Miss Grand International 2023 Swimsuit Competition Rematch. So please make sure you stick around, please subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that bell notification button for your weekly pageant fix. Hey guys! I hope that you're doing well. So for this episode, I will be accompanied by my cat, Lindsay Cooney, who I know will stay up until the end of this episode because that's how she rolls. When she finds a spot, she's gonna stick with it. But anyway, the very reason why I am doing this for you was because we just wrapped up our Sunday live sesh, and I mentioned that I was initially planning on giving you guys an episode from the swimsuit edition that took place at the Danang Mizukazi Japanese hotel and spa, if I'm not mistaken, or resort and spa. So this was the outdoor event that got a lot of backlash, got a lot of like really nasty things said about Miss Grand International. So they decided to do a rematch, and this time at the enclosed Apex Center, also in Danang. So I'll talk more about this later on. So yes, two things are happening at the same time. We have Nikki performing very well at Miss Grand International, and we also have Nicole Borromeo also doing well at Miss International. Maybe if I have some free time in a few days, I will be giving you content on Miss International as well. But a lot of the Miss International girls are like grouped together. I haven't really encountered an event where they were all housed in the same area just so we can check out who's doing. Now, Miss Grand International, yes, would always have that element of danger in their swimsuit competitions, but they might have reached their limit when they pushed through with the swimsuit competition from a few days ago, that one where it rained and they already knew that they were going to battle the weather because the live stream got delayed for 2 hours. My take there, because there were a lot of fans who got really angry with the management. In fact, there were a number of beauty queens who also called out Miss Grand International for pushing through with the competition that endangered the safety of these girls. And one of them was Andreina Martinez, one of the notable ladies from Miss Universe from last year. And I think that this was in support of the Dominican Republic representative who had the nastiest fall out of all of the girls who took to the round. I think that this list is very interesting because a majority of the girls who made it in my list were also the girls who did well from the first edition. But I decided to remove some of the girls and then decided to give the other girls another chance to make it to my list. So I narrowed it down for you to 10. Yes, Elvis, what is happening? That is my Maine Coon, my super big cat with a super small voice. Okay, let me go ahead and give you my number 10th spot, and I will be giving this to Miss Thailand. Interestingly enough, Miss Thailand did not make my list the first time, and I guess it had something to do with all of that dancing and all of that body touching, styling, and a little bit of course, her personality. My number 9 spot is someone that I have been looking at. It's just that I have been waiting for her to really showcase what she has in there, because I'm talking about a pageant girl who represented her country internationally at Miss Intercontinental 2022. And I'm talking about Miss Netherlands. Miss, a little bit of her styling, which of course works because none of their hair were wet this time. And I like that she was able to show us that statuesque height and what it can do. And she was able to also channel, I don't know, a little bit of Anna Valencia, a little bit of Hannah Arnold, and that beautiful face and that lovely mane of hair. So yes, I have put her in my 9th spot just because she was just so striking at the rematch. My number 8 spot goes to Miss Angola. I am really happy to have Miss Angola on my list. She was also part of my first list, so I'm glad to see her back in my second list for the rematch. I like to fix her hair even if she doesn't have any hair. So for this, I really love the confidence. My number 7 spot, I am going to give this one to Miss Spain. Now, initially, she was not in my first list, but I added her at the rematch because I felt that she had the pacing of her walk is really just within this time frame. It's really not going to be Giselle Bundchen Stompy. It's really not going to be fast. It's going to be at the pace that Nikki and Ian practice for. But in terms of execution, in terms of the clean lines and the extension of the legs and arms, I think that she did so well. She had one of the cleanest for me. If she could just make an adjustment and give it more power and not just rely on that pretty face, I think that she would have really gone higher in my list. Number four for me is Miss Colombia. Now, Miss Colombia, this edition is hitting the superlatives. She's absolutely beautiful, but I put her in my number fourth spot because when everybody else is performing, then you're not. Me is Miss Indonesia. I've been telling you guys that she is one of my favorites this edition, and because I want to normalize this conversation, I know that parts of her body just seemed really extreme when you look at it. Number two for me is Miss USA. I think that Miss Grand USA is doing so well. I was in conversation with the other tita, and we were like saying, if Abina had not won, I think that she would be on. So I don't know if she's projecting a different ethnicity this time. However, it's working because you could see like all of the contours of her body, and you would really realize that she put in that much effort in making her body work. So I like the idea that she seemed to really prepare for this, and she has been very vocal. If you have watched her materials on YouTube before, when she would do analysis on beauty pageants, you would know that this is someone who wants to go back to pageantry and wants to give it her all. And I'm looking at her now, she seems to be really giving it her all. Before I reveal my number one spot for you, I would also like to commend some girls who didn't make it to my list, but they were in my list initially. It's just that they still performed very well, but probably for the rematch, not as well for me to really like remember them. But of course, I still remember them. I would like to give a shout out to Miss Ghana. I think that she's very elegant. I would like to give a shout out to Miss Mexico. Sorry about that car. I take so long, let the car pass. And I would also like to commend Miss Brazil. Miss Brazil was initially part of my list from the first edition, but I would still like to give her a shout out because her body is amazing. Also, I want to mention two other heavy favorites in the competition, or maybe three of them that did not make it to my list. Miss Myanmar, unfortunately, did not add Miss Vietnam. So they still did well, but I hope that for those of fans who are waiting for India or maybe Myanmar, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't put them in my list. But anyway, moving on to my very number one spot, I will be giving this one to Miss Peru. Now, Miss Peru for me was able to give us that vavoom body that we always wait for at Miss Grand International. Face and that, really easy demeanor. I thought that she was just enough to prepare herself to the top. So that for me is a really good balance of something cheeky with something that really requires, a technical performance. So there you have it, guys. This is my list. I don't know if you will agree with me, but I will definitely keep you posted in the other events of Miss Grand International, and hopefully if I have time, Miss International. And then in a few weeks, let's go for it at Miss Universe. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you, guys. See you soon.